Welcome back to my channel. If we haven't met before, my name is Shauna. I'm very excited to have you here. I love sharing tips and tricks for decluttering our homes, organizing it, and implementing systems that work to help our home stay peaceful. Today is day 2 of my Fall Declutter Challenge, where in 5 weeks I am trying to declutter my whole home and get it ready for the holidays. Now, if you are looking for some support or want to join our challenge, it is not too late. There's information on how to do that down in the description below. If you tuned in to day 1, I left a spoiler that there was something that I found that is pretty embarrassing. So make sure you stay tuned and watch to find out what that is. I am going to give a disclaimer. Unfortunately, I did not have time to do a deep clean. There are some cupboards that really could use it, and I just didn't have time, and that is okay. I made baby steps, and baby steps over time add up to big progress. So if you are not able to get as much done in a day as you want, that's all right. It's okay. No judgment at all. I'm proud of you for doing baby steps and even just attempting to get something done. That is something I was definitely telling myself over and over again during this video. So without further ado, here's part 1 of my kitchen declutter. Day 2 of the challenge. Looking at my calendar, I am on day 1 of 2 in the kitchen. I don't think I'm going to need 2 full days to do in here. I tried to keep in here as pared down as possible, and I know I went through about 80%, 85% of the pantry recently, but I'm sure especially in the freezer there's probably a lot. I don't think it's going to take that long, but on the off chance it does, I'm glad I scheduled 2 days. So I think for today, I'm going to try doing the upper cabinets and the lower cabinets, and we'll see how long that takes me to do that, and then we will reevaluate and see if I have time for more today. And before we get started, here's a quick look at our kitchen for a before. I know not much is going to look different at the end, but here we go. I know I'm not doing the fridge today, but as long as I'm up here, I might as well just look over the top of the fridge just to make sure that there really isn't anything up here that needs my attention. These green baskets hold snacks and things for my son's lunch, and without fail, grocery bags always end up here. You might be going, why is there food on top of your fridge, Shauna? So if there's food that we have set aside for meals, but we know that people are going to be like, ooh, this is there, I want to eat it, we put it up here, and then as soon as we're done with that meal, it does go into the pantry, it's up for grabs, but if it's up here, everyone knows it's off limits. All right, I have 2 cake plates, a cake stand, and a trifle bowl up here. I don't use them that much, but when I do, they're so handy to have. I think I'm going to keep them because I don't need this particular space for anything else. I did say if I didn't use them for my son's grad party back in June, I was going to get rid of them. But his party was so different than my daughter's that his was very much more low-key, plus we hired a caterer for her. We did it all on our own. So I think if I don't use them in the next year, so by the end of 2025, then I'll be okay to let them go, because I know I'll host a few holidays or get-togethers between now and then. And I don't see my younger son wanting them for his grad party either. So I think I'm going to let them stay for now and reevaluate later. And onto our off-limits special treat bin. Oh, they're still good until my son's birthday, 2025, so I'll just let those stay. But anything that's loose, I'm going to let go. And yes, these are Peeps. We bought them after Easter, the day after Easter, to use for our s'more party when the town does their fireworks. But we went and saw the Savannah bananas that day of the fireworks, so they're still sitting up there. They're actually pretty good roasted, so I think we'll keep them up there for now, and then if we're gonna, by the end of October, we haven't used them, I'll let them go. Learn from my mistakes, clean up as you go. And at this point, one of my neighbors decided it was time to mow their lawn, so we'll just do a voiceover for this part. I'm going to go through this cupboard. There's really not much anything in here that needs to be gone through. And the next cupboard, pretty much the same thing. These cupboards are things we use regularly or just have easily accessible for when we do need them. Really nothing in these cupboards to get rid of. Now this one, I knew that this was going to be difficult. These baskets are so full of medicines and things, and it's just easy to dump things in here and not go through them. So today was the day. All the baskets have labels on them, and some of the baskets were empty, some were overfull. Everything was just a mess. They needed a complete overhaul, so I just started by going through everything and pulling out anything that was expired, anything that I know that we didn't like there's some supplements in here that I bought for myself and just didn't really like them, so we're going to set those aside for, one of those medicine deposit boxes. So I'm going to look into where I should take all of those, but just really going through, making sure everything is easily accessible. There's nothing in here expired. And as soon as each basket is done, I'm going to be putting it back in the cupboard. So I actually ended up sorting out the baskets. So pain relief is in one, allergy and cold medicine is in another, and then miscellaneous medicines are in another bin. And I love these labels because they're chalkboard labels, so they make it really easy to change as needed. But I'm really hoping that by doing it this way, it's really going to stay neat and organized longer. That actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But wine glasses, champagne glasses. My husband and I rarely drink. But on those rare chances that we have guests over, having all of them is really nice. I think I'm going to leave them and ask my husband about it. And then I know we use all of these regularly. So that cupboard is done. This cupboard is full of things that, well, not this shelf or that shelf really. I mean, there's a couple of things that we don't use regularly on those bottom shelves, which is why they're more tucked to the back. But the top stuff, we rarely use them. But it's often enough that it's not worth putting anywhere else. So I think we're just gonna leave this cupboard and be okay with it. These are probably my least favorite cupboards to go through. I did a big overhaul a year ago. But they're all full of spices and things. All right. I'm gonna say that this is gonna go. I don't remember the last time I used it. Don't think we've used it since I moved into the house, and that was 7 years ago. I know we've used that one. This one's fairly new too. This one's just gross. We're gonna let it go. And this we have definitely not used since we were in the old house. How it has made it through this long, I don't know, but I'm a little disgusted. As you'll see in a minute, that is not the only disgusting or embarrassing thing that I found in these cupboards, but it happens. We need to give ourselves grace. It is easy to miss things when we go through and declutter. That's why we should go and declutter regularly and often. I need to deep clean up there. I just don't have time to do it today. And that's okay. That is okay. And here's where things start to go downhill. Lemon extract, best by June of 21. I know I overhauled these cupboards since then. June of 2020. Rock hard. Oh, yeah, that's been there a while. That's embarrassing. Almost as embarrassing. So these are spices that I just found that were dated 2014 and 2013. So if you do the math and you know it's 2024 at the time of this video, that's 10 and 11 years old. So not only have I missed them multiple times when I have decluttered, and I did a big overhaul last year, but I also spent money on them 7 years ago to pay movers to move them to my current home. And on to the bottom cupboards. This one is all of our small Tupperware. These no longer live in here. I think does that one even stand anymore? Excuse the cat food. Hey, nope. We're gonna get rid of that one definitely. But this is about as good as this one gets. And this is the extra cat bowl because he eats right there. And we're just gonna let that one be. First for everything, right? My Tupperware cupboard is organized. I don't have to do anything to it. That's amazing. This is a weird angle, I know, but this is my silverware drawer. I will vacuum it out and clean it out at some point, but I just don't have the time today. Do I really need to keep these wooden chopsticks when we have reusable ones? I'm gonna say the answer is no, because it makes it really hard to find what we're looking for. I saw in here our disposable straw. This goes with the coffee. That looks good. The next two drawers, I don't really anticipate anything in here that needs to actually be decluttered per se. If anything needs to be done, it's just like a quick reorganize, just putting things back where they belong. We tend to just throw things in here and it doesn't always get put back, so that's really all that needed to be done in here. All right, I really need to start flying through this because I'm running really low on time. We have a soccer game to get to this afternoon, so I gotta move faster. All right. I love this washcloth. One of my friends made it for me. It's a red M&M, but it's got a hole, and I don't know how to fix it. And you have to let it go. I'm sad. But if I'm not using it and it's taking up space, it's okay. Next up is hand towels. I have a lot of them, but a lot of them I have for different purposes. So knowing, do I really need to keep all of them? Can I let some go? Is always a challenge. This one is fraying at the edge. This one actually is 18 years old. So for being 18 and a hand towel that was used regularly, this looks great. But it is time to part with it. It's the last one of it. I got this for my bridal shower. My coworkers at the animal hospital threw me a surprise bridal shower my last week that I was working with them before I moved to be closer to my husband and where we were going to be living. So yeah, a lot of good memories. It has served us well. I also got these at my bridal shower at the animal hospital. They don't work quite as well as the blue ones, but they are like, they absorb better than these. These ones are really good for like wrapping up warm bread or putting under hot canning jars, things like that, or covering up bread dough. So different purpose, but there's times like right now where I'm behind in towels, so these are really good to reach and grab for. Now for the rest of the cupboard, I don't think there's anything that really needs to be like removed completely, like discarded, but it does need to be straightened up a little bit. So setting aside my spray bottle to refill and then just straightening up the baskets. It's just cleaning supplies and garbage bags, but it gets messy quick. There's still room for whatever cleaning spray is still in there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's still room in there for my cleaning spray. And then garbage bags will just go in here. I'm just gonna keep those in there so they don't get lost. Actually, yeah, we're just gonna leave it that way. And then these will go in here as well. There's still room. We do it that way. We can do it that way. And once this cupboard is finished, I'm gonna move over to our lower corner cupboard, which is hard to get into, so it's actually cleaner than normal. This cupboard could get messy just because it is hard to reach into, but I'm going to really make a point of going through this basket. This holds all my sourdough bread supplies, and things have quickly piled up in here since I started my journey in February. Like, I kept a manual for my bread basket because apparently I thought I needed to keep that. Putting my dried out discard into a jar, and the bottom actually looks really good as well. Lids tend to go everywhere, but looks good for now. Heading over to the last set of drawers, I actually found my missing bread knife, and then the next drawer, I'm just going to go through the pot holders, going to get rid of one that actually has a frayed edge, pull out my oven mitts because they desperately need to be washed, and just straighten out that bottom drawer, and everything looks good over here. Somebody's been watching me work. How are we doing? We doing good, bud? Good talk. All right, I think we did good. I think we did really good. There's actually more here than I thought there would be. That box also has medicines in it that need to get disposed of, so I need to figure out a safe way to dispose of those medicines. To be honest, day 2 is done. I only did the upper and bottom cupboards, which really was more than I expected, but that's why I planned for 2 days. But it's just frustrating sometimes when I look and I'm like, I need to deep clean these cupboards, but I just don't have time today. So like that's something I'm struggling with. And then just like reminding myself that decluttering is a process. It's like an onion, like Shrek. Like Shrek is like an onion, many layers. Like you're going to miss things every time you do it. There were spices in there from 2023, 2022, and I know that last year in 2023 I did a deep overhaul. There was stuff in there from 2013 and 2014. So this is just a reminder, if you are struggling or getting frustrated or like embarrassed or just like, how did I let this happen? It happens. What you are doing now is going to make a big impact overall in the long run. So be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you too. And now that I've had that pep talk, I feel much better. So I'm gonna go clean up from this and then get going with the rest of my day. Thank you again so much for tuning in for today for part 1 of my 2-day kitchen declutter. And for having grace. I know I was really beating myself up. It didn't really show on camera that much, but in my head I was definitely like not having a lot of grace with myself for letting things get as bad as they were, letting things slip through the cracks. But as I told my challenge, my Declutter Challenge chat group, where if you want more support on your declutter journey, you are more than welcome to join us. Just let me know in the comments below. But decluttering is like an onion. Totally a Shrek reference because ogres are like onions, they have layers. Decluttering is like an onion as well. We have to do many pass-throughs. So the first time you go through and you declutter, you're going to get rid of a little bit. You might get rid of a lot, but after a while you're going to realize, hey, I can get rid of more. I missed this the first time. Maybe I wasn't ready to get rid of something that first time. And you're going to want to do that over and over again. And each time you're going to find more things you can declutter. So when you let a spice go through, like slip through the cracks multiple times for 11 years, don't beat yourself up too much about it. It happens. It happens to the best of us. So just give yourself grace, keep your head high. I'm really proud of you for anything you get done, whether it's just taking care of one item, doing 5 minutes, doing an hour, doing a whole room, whatever you can get done today. Be proud of yourself. You're making great steps toward a peaceful home. Stay tuned tomorrow where I finish the kitchen and I'm really excited to get that pantry finished and the freezer. The freezer needs some major help. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.